Dear student, welcome to the course Computational Fluid Dynamics. Today, I am going to discuss you the discretization technique that are used in the computational fluid dynamics, and the one important technique I will discuss, that is the finite volume method. So discretization, as you know, that in our problems, our problem is continuum, means continuous distribution of mass. But the discretization says that break the component or system on which you are focusing into a small number of elements, and the size of these small elements is not infinite. They are very small, infinitesimal small, but the size of those elements are finite. So the discretization can be done in different ways, different methods, and the elements of different shape. Okay, like triangular element, quadrilateral element, 5 node element, 6 node element, octahedral element. Okay, so these are the some elements in which we mesh or discretize our component and then try to find out the value for each and small component, and then assemble and then get the value for whole system or whole component. So this is the idea of the discretization. So discretization means breaking the continuum, that is continuous mass distribution of matter in our component or in our system, to small elements, and it do the study over the small element and then combine the result. Okay, so if we go the previous lecture, in the previous lecture I have discussed with the Navier-Stokes equation, that is the fundamental equation of the fluid dynamics, which is used to model any complex or real problem in the heat transport phenomena or the fluid flow transport phenomena. So when we apply the Navier-Stokes equation on any given system, that's and finally it's result of partial differential equation. And as we have seen in the previous lecture that we don't have the exact solution of all these partial differential equations in all cases. That's the reason we adopted the method CFD. That is, we have moved ourselves from the analytical approach to the numerical approach. So CFD is a numerical computational technique through which we have the solution. So when you find that in Navier-Stokes equation, when results a partial differential equation which cannot be solved exactly, then we apply the method of discretization. And method of discretization, what does it do? Changes that partial differential equation into the algebraic equation, and from those algebraic equations we derive the solutions. So this is all about the NS equation. Then I have discussed the differential and integral form of fundamental equations of the fluid dynamics, and then we have seen the mathematical behavior of the partial differential equations, that when we apply all these fundamentals, Navier-Stokes equation, continuity equation, mass momentum conservation equation, energy conservation equation, as per the problem we are having the partial differential equations. And then we have seen that what are the categories of these partial differential equation, are they parabolic, elliptical, hyperbolic. Then we have seen the nature of the solution of these partial differential equations. So this all I have covered in the previous lecture. Now we are moving towards the discretization, means you can say that how to write the algebraic equations for the partial differential equations. So as the objective of today's lecture is what are the different discretization technique, what is the meaning of discretization, and then from all the different available techniques I am going to discuss you the finite volume method. So discretization. Discretization methods are used to chop a continuous function, that is the real solution to a system of differential equations, generally in computational fluid dynamics, into a discrete function where the solution values are defined at each point in space and time. Discretization simply refers to the spacing between each point in your solution space. So as I have discussed that our system is a continuous or continuum where there is a continuous distribution of the mass and matter. Okay, so when we write the differential equations or apply the fundamental principle of the fluid dynamics, and using the fundamentals equations we are getting a partial differential equations. And have the solution for those partial differential equation, the discretization method is means breaking that continuous function into discrete functions, means breaking the continuous system into the discrete element, and in that way our whole components is divided into small number of elements, and these elements are continuous at the boundary and as well as they are also the differentiable. So when we have the values at each different point into the space, okay, what is our solution space? In the solution space we don't have the value continuous value at each and every point, but we have the values at some discrete point. Means if our solution space is continuous, we don't have values at the all possible points that is available, but we have the solution at some discrete value. So this is the discretization, breaking the continuous system into small finite elements. Now the when a solution intends to calculate a dynamic solution to a fluid or heat flow multiphysics problem, the finite difference time domain means variation with respect to time and variation with respect to space for the finite elements is used, as we need to discretize time in addition to space. Means in this problems we are discretizing space and as well as time. 1D, 2D or 3D systems without time dependence, that is the steady state solution. Steady state means there is no variation of any physical properties with respect to time. So either when we are in 1D or 2D or 3D and we are solving the steady state problem, in that case the finite element method is used for discretization. So there are various methods of discretization which can broadly be classified into two methods. One is the mesh grid method and another is mesh free method. So let's talk about first about the mesh method. What are the mesh methods? These methods involve two steps. First one is the meshing, that is the divide the region, that is domain, into smaller regions. These smaller regions may be triangles and rectangles in 2D and tetrahedron, hexahedron in 3D and other type of geometric entities. The vertices of these geometric entities are called node. Suppose that I have a object, okay, and I have divided this object into a small element. So these small elements have some their boundaries. They are made from some boundaries. So the vertex of these boundaries I can call it node. So meshing means to break the continuum matter or continuum components into discrete components where the vertices of these discrete elements are known as the node, and discretization of the governing equation over the mesh. Okay, so there are two methods. One is the mesh method. In the mesh method the first one is the meshing, okay, and second one is the discretization of the governing equation over the mesh. So the methods are, one is the finite volume, finite difference, finite element. So these all three that you are seeing, that finite volume, finite difference, finite element, these are the mesh method. These methods are based on the meshing. Okay, and another important technique is for the discretization is mesh free method. Okay, so we are focusing on the mesh method, in which there are three important discretization technique. One is the finite volume, another is the finite difference and finite element, and we are going to focus on the finite volume technique. So what is finite volume? It is a numerical tool that is borrowed from calculus of variation. Okay, there are a lot of type of FEM like point collection method, subdomain method. Here they assume some trial function and multiply that trial function with weighting function. In Galkin's method, the trial function itself weighting function. I think you have gone all those methods. Different methods follow different ways in weighting. Okay, we are assigning the weight to the different functions, so there are different methods with which we will assign the weight to the function. Then this weight function is multiplied with trial function then integrated over the control volume. This integration over the control volume is known as the weak form, and it is equated to 0. This procedure will differ for different type of FEM, but theme is same. Then we get one set of algebraic equations. Okay, solving that will give solution. Here we are working only in error and differential equations. Sometimes conservative law may be violated. This method is more accurate than FBM, that is finite volume method, and FDM. Ideal for linear PDEs, expensive and complex for non-linear partial differential equations. High order accuracy is achieved by using higher order basis, that is shape functions. So we refine and we are using higher order shape functions to interpolate the values. We are getting more accurate result. Higher order accurate calculations are expensive in computation and mathematical formulation, especially for nonlinear, more suitable for heat transfer, structural mechanics, vibration analysis. So these are some brief idea about the finite value method. A finite value method discretization is based upon an integral form of the partial differential equation to be solved. Okay, the solution of a partial differential equation in integrated form, we apply this finite volume method. For example, that is conservation of mass, momentum, or energy. The PDEs, that is partial differential equation, is written in a form which can be solved for a given finite volume. The computational domain is discretized into finite volumes, and then for every volume, the governing equations are solved. The resulting system of equations usually involves fluxes of the conserved variable, and thus the collection of fluxes is very important in finite volume method. The basic advantage of this method over the FDM is it denote require the use of structural grids and the effort to convert the given mesh into structural numeric grid. Internally is completely avoided, as with FDM. The resulting approximate solution is a discrete, but the variables are typically placed at call centers, cell centers, rather than at the nodal point. So when we are applying the FDM, in the FDM we are trying to evaluate the solution at the nodal point, but here we are evaluating the solution at the central point. So this is not always true, as there are also phase-centered finite volume method. In any case, the values of field variable at non-storage locations are obtained using interpolations. So let us apply the finite volume element method. For the 1D case, we have an element stretched from x is equal to a to x is equal to b, and we have divided this element into n number of the finite number of elements. And if the central element I said I, so this is going to be I minus half, and this is I plus half, and the distance is 1 unit between them. Okay, so in this way we can divide. A is going to be x half, comma x1 plus half, then x2 plus half. In this way we are dividing xn minus 1 by 2 and xn plus 1 by 2 is equal to b. Like here, na? So this is going to be xn minus half, and this is going to be xn plus half. And here we can write x is equal to a half, that is half, and 1 plus half. Now if we look the cell number I, we can write the Ci, that is the element xi minus 1 half, xi plus 1 half, and if we see the cell size, the cell size is going to be I plus 1 half minus xi minus 1 half. Okay. Now conservation's law apply to the particular cell Ci. So our integration is stretched from xi minus half to xi plus 1 half, and this is the conservation function, that is one is the function of space and another is function of time. Okay. So del u by del t plus del f by del x, and integrating over the dx, because this is of the stressed value. So when we find out the cell average value, so average we are going to divide by this stretch. So what is the stretch? That is 1 upon hi, xi minus half to xi plus 1 half, and the function is uxt dx. So this is the cell average value. What is it? This is the integral form, and that we can write hi dy by dt plus fx I plus half into t minus fx minus half into t equal to 0. So if I will divide this equation from the hi, so hi will come to this, and this is nothing but the del f by del x that is written by the first principle of calculus using that. Okay. Now the pictorial representation of the method. So this is one stretch, second is the another stretch, and then this is the constant values. So cell average values is discontinuous at the interface, and these are the interface. So here what the value I am getting from the left hand side is not exacting the right hand side. Second, what is the flux, and then third is the numerical flux function, and that is defined as fx I plus half variable time t, that is equal to f I plus half, and that is equal to f ui comma ui plus 1. Now finite volume update equations. Ordinary differential equation, I can write hi du I by dt plus f I plus 1 half minus f I minus 1 half equal to 0, where I values from 1 to n, that was your stressed. Now telescopic collapse of fluxes can be written as I is equal to 1 to n hi du by dt plus f I plus half minus f I minus half equal to 0, and we can wrap it, that is dy dt summation goes inside plus fn plus half minus f half equal to 0. So rate of change of total u, that is total velocity, or you can say any property, that is going to be minus net flux across the domain. Okay. Now let's summarize what we have studied in this lecture, that finite volume method uses integral form of conservation equations. Okay. When we are applying the fundamental principle or fundamental equations of fluid dynamics in either in heat flow, either in your fluid flow, we apply the integral form of the equation. Domains subdivided into control volumes, surface and volume integrals approximated by numerical quadratural technique, interpolation used to express variable values at control volume phases in terms of nodal values. It results in an algebraic equation per control volume. So when we apply the integral equation and then we apply the method of discretization, that is finite volume method, then these partial differential equation convert into the algebraic equation for that discrete element or that small element. Okay, and these are the methods which is suitable for any type of grid, that is conservative by construction in nature, and the commercial code or commercial software that you can say is used as CFX, Fluent, Phonics, Flow 3D. So these are the software that is used nowadays for the discretization or mesh generation. Okay. Now these are the reference to which you can go, and if you want to study more about the safety, there are many tutorials available at this line. You can also go to link, you can also go through that link. Now this is the important questions for the practice, that is what is the nature of solution of elliptical PD, what is nature of solution of hyperbolic PD, illustrate shock problems in flow field, illustrate the Robinson boundary conditions. Okay, so these are the problems that you have to practice. Now, in the today lecture, we have gone through the different discretization technique, and we have seen there are two main methods. One is the mesh method, and another is the mesh-free method. In the mesh method, we have seen your three important techniques: finite volume, finite element, and finite difference. Here, in this particular lecture, we have focused on the finite volume method, and we have seen that finite volume method is used integral form of the fundamental equations over a small cell or a small volume, means we discretize our component or our system into a small volume, and then we apply the fundamental equations in the integral form, and after the fundamental equations of the integral form, we apply the finite volume method technique, and these equations convert into the algebraic equation for every cell, and from there we derive the solutions. Okay, and we have seen that this technique is quite better than finite difference method in terms when we are formulating our problem using the your fundamental equations or Navier-Stokes equation into the integral form. Okay, then we have seen the procedures that how we have to discretize and how to calculate the average value or the flux in more general method we have seen. So that is for today lecture. Hope you have enjoyed this lecture. Thank you.